morning, it's Chris B again with CSB Security Inc. We're going to answer another question about the ACMPR and Cannabis Act video storage. So, the question goes something like this. Can we use offsite video storage? Will this be acceptable to HC? Okay, a few things to clarify with that question. The first one is HC refers to Health Canada. Whenever I answer emails, I always just put HC. It's a lot easier. The second thing is this client really wants to know, can I use cloud storage to store my video images for either 2 years under the ACMPR or 1 year under the Cannabis Act? The answer is, sure you can. I have yet to hear Health Canada reject any application based on the fact that that application refers to cloud storage. In fact, I know of 2 LPs that are using cloud storage as we speak. Now, small facilities, not a lot of cameras, but they've chosen to use cloud storage. So before we go any further with my opinion on this whole subject, again, the quick answer is you can absolutely do so. I don't believe Health Canada has any opinion either way. Cloud storage is a service that you can hire that will take your images from your video surveillance system and they will store them on their servers based on a monthly fee. So in other words, instead of having a server on site that does all the recording of the videos and keeps them for either 2 years or now 1 year under the Cannabis Act, you're sending all that video images across the network to somebody else's server off-site in another building that is protected, that is the server is managed, as in for health status. Should a drive happen to fail, should a camera connection not be that good, it will be able to tell you those types of things. So cloud storage is quite good, but is it practical under the Cannabis Act when you have 150 cameras on your site? That's a decision you're going to have to make, and you should be cautious of a few things. Number one, you got to make sure your network traffic is not going to bog down your entire network. So in other words, if your video surveillance system is using the same network as your regular computers, I don't know, maybe your Ample Organics computers, whatever it is, you're going to want to think to yourself, well, that's a lot of images that I am downloading onto a server off-site. That's a lot of network traffic. It's a lot of bandwidth. You got to make sure that you're not getting bottlenecked. That's number one. Number two, you have to come to terms with the fact, are you comfortable sending all your sensitive images that you have to retain for 1 year of everything in your facility when it comes to video surveillance and having somebody else store those for a fee? There is a little bit of a risk there. For whatever reason, maybe somehow, some way you accidentally missed a payment. Oh boy, what's going to happen then? Are they going to shut down your connection and now you're not storing any video? What happens if the internet happens to be a little crappy that day? What if the ISP goes down, your internet service provider? Bell goes down all the time. I know, because I'm victim to it almost on a monthly basis. So it's not to say you're losing images, because of course you have a small server on site that retains images for about 30 days, and anything else past the 30 days gets trickled either after hours to this offsite storage or real time. Doesn't change the fact that I'm kind of a little bit old school. I kind of want to see my server inside a locked cabinet, inside a protected room. I want to be able to walk into that room and look at all those pretty lights going back and forth, knowing that the server is working. I want to be able to see if there's a drive error. I want my integrator to be on a 24-hour call to be able to come in and fix my server should a drive fail. I want a 4-hour turnaround for a brand new server. Those are all things part of your preventative maintenance package should you have a server on site. Cost-wise, yes, a server on site may cost you more than off-site. There is no doubt. They are expensive machines, but the key here is you can have that machine for quite a long time as long as you have proper preventative maintenance with your integrator. Whereas if you're storing it off-site, you're paying for somebody else's server. You're paying for somebody else's maintenance. Not to say it's going to be more expensive, but you have to do the math. Potentially right now it's kind of cheap, but is it going to be the same cost 7 years from now? Is that server that you could have bought for $20,000 now already paid for itself and you don't have to keep repaying a monthly fee to have your images stored? You got to also think about what happens when Health Canada comes on site and says, hey, I would like to see images of 10 months ago on Tuesday at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you're doing all your searching and you have to download video off that server that's off-site. You better hope there's no network outage that day. You better hope that there is no bandwidth issues. You better hope that your whole system is not bogged down from traffic from your computers that are sending emails. Or maybe there's somebody on a Skype meeting. Who knows what it could be. If the system's not configured properly, you're going to wait 10 minutes for a 30-second clip. Health Canada will sit there and go, Okay, 2 minutes, understandable. 10 minutes, that's really not obtaining images in an ideal turnaround time. Whereas if you have a server on site, that same video clip could be 30 seconds to download. Maybe not even. Some systems have it seamless almost. So the point being, you got to do your research. You got to figure out what your risk tolerance is for sending images, sensitive images, off-site outside of what I call the DMZ. In IT world, the DMZ is referred to as the demilitarized zone. It's the area that you're safe inside of your network because there's no reason to go outside of your network. The outside the DMZ is basically the internet. So you got to think of it like it's a firewall. Firewall's a pretty good analogy. I'm glad that they came up with it. It makes a lot of sense. It's basically saying there is a wall. On the other side of this wall, there's a lot of people that can do silly things. On the inside of this wall, we're protected. We're good to go. So, can you use cloud storage? Yes. Should you use cloud storage? That's a decision you're going to have to make. Me personally, when I'm asked about cloud storage, I tend to say not really. I'm not a big fan, especially for ACMPR. There are applications where it does extremely well. I'm not so sure streaming 150 cameras, all those images, which are recording at all times, storing it for 1 year on somebody else's server where the network could be cut, hacked into, whatever the case may be. I'm not a big fan of that. So I hope I didn't upset anybody in the cloud storage world. That was not my intent, but I believe in the cannabis sector, especially with all the cameras, the retention of video. I believe a server on site is your best option. Either way, feel free to follow us. I answer a lot of questions. I try to give as much information as possible. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. If you want to chat more, maybe take this offline, go ahead and call me. I can certainly talk you through some of the pros and cons of cloud storage versus on-site storage. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.